The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The health department says there still are no cases of COVID-19 Omicron variant in the Philippines, but they're continuing to trace OFWs from South Africa who arrived last month. Faith Del Mundo is reporting to us live from Quezon City to give us details on this. Faith, good afternoon. Can you tell us what you know about so far about these OFWs?
Yes, Riza, the DOH is tracking two OFWs who returned to the Philippines from South Africa in November. Around the same time, the Omicron variant was reported to the World Health Organization. In the Laging Handa public briefing, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Berjeda said the DOH is now coordinating with local authorities. They arrived on November 22 and had indicated addresses in Region 4B or Mimaropa and Region 10 or Northern Mindanao. Berjeda said the two passengers already tested negative upon their arrival. Meanwhile, genome sequencing results are out for the COVID-infected traveler from South Africa. Berjeda said the passenger was not a carrier of the Omicron variant, but BE1203, which is not a variant, as tagged as variant of concern or interdis. 5 other variants or other passengers tested negative, but the DOH said they will be doing retesting. But Berjeda also said it is possible that the Omicron variant may enter the Philippines through passengers from other countries with reported cases such as Thailand and Singapore. The health official admitted it is not a matter of whether or not the Omicron variant will be reported in the country, but when. This is why she said the government is tightening its border control policies. Riza, the DOH is reiterating the importance and safety of vaccines and calls on the public to continue following the minimum health standards. The agency announced that they will have a second round of mass immunization from December 15 to 17 in regions with low vaccine coverage, such as regions 3, 4, 8, 6, 7, and BARM. Riza?
Thank you, Faith. That's Faith Del Mundo reporting live from Quezon City. Now, while COVID-19 cases continue to go down in the country, the OCTA research group is urging vigilance to prevent new surges, especially ahead of the 2022 polls. Professor Ranjit Rai told the chiefs that the Omicron variant may be detected in the country by the first quarter of 2022 in time for the campaign season. With this, Rai maintained that vaccination, testing, tracing, and adherence to health protocols are still needed to combat possible surges.
If vaccinations continue, if the testing, tracing, the best science is telling us if testing and tracing continue, okay, and that people stick to the minimum public health protocols, we will be able to manage this surge better than the way we did as far as Delta and the other surges in the past.
Rai, meanwhile, noted that vaccine willingness has gone down a bit in the third quarter of the year. While the numbers may be low, Rai said it is still important to get these people vaccinated to protect themselves from the virus.
Although it's still a minority, it's something that we need to address because quite a number of these, majority of those who are unwilling to get vaccinated are doing so because they lack information. So hopefully we'll get all of that done by Feb, but if they don't get vaccinated for the same reason because they didn't get informed, there's no access, that's going to be a big issue moving.
Now, here are some election-related stories we're watching. Presidential bet and Senator Panfilo Lacson and his running mate, Senator Tito Soto, are in Dumaguete City. Addressing the province's officials, Lacson said they have a quote concrete and future-proof strategy for the Filipinos. Now, the tandem seeks the help of Negros Oriental for next year's polls. Meanwhile, Vice President Leni Robredo, who is gunning for the country's top post, met with a human rights group and a grassroots movement, I Defend, on Friday. In a statement, Robredo also called for truth-telling versus oppression and replacing inequality with compassion in commemoration of the International Human Rights Day. And President Duterte has yet to decide on 2022 presidential bet, according to his longtime aide, Senator Bongo. Go pointed out that the administration may back a candidate who will continue Duterte's legacy and programs. When asked about formalizing his withdrawal from the presidential race, he said there's no need to rush. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Petitioners against the anti-terror law are now preparing their next step after the Supreme Court upheld most of its provisions. Marlene Alcaide with a story.
While the world celebrates International Human Rights Day, several petitioners against the anti-terror law couldn't be more displeased. The Supreme Court decided to junk only 2 parts of the highly contested measure.
Dissenting opinion at ito pong mga opinion na ito ay amin pong pag-aaralan at atin pong lalabanan dito sa ating motion for reconsideration.
Petitioners continue to argue on several provisions of the law that remain intact. These include the provisions on warrantless arrests, as well as the power of the Anti-Terrorism Council to designate individuals or organizations as terrorists. Attorney Evelyn Ursua called the SC's decision as a mere consolation, adding that it is scary and depressing due to the lack of protection.
Walang kwenta yon dahil may absolute power pa rin yung Anti-Terrorism Council na umaasta na korte.
Anti-terror law will continue to silence us. The right to freedom of expression is so important dahil yung karapatan natin magsalita, yun din yung karapatan natin na ilabas kung ano ang ating nasa isip, kung ano ang ating nararamdaman. Pero babaliwalain ito.
Petitioner and senatorial aspirant Nery Colmenares likewise said that too much power is given to the president under the law to target dissenters.
This decision will not be left unchallenged. Sana, despite the decision, ituloy natin ang pagtutol sa terrorism law. Ituloy natin ang paglabas ng ating hinaing na ang terrorism law labag sa karapatang pantao, labag sa ating mga constitutional rights.
Another petitioner, Attorney Mel Santa Maria, believes that the SCs may still change its decision.
Nag-speculate lang ngayon, ang sinasabi ng Korte Suprema, as of this time, wala pang tinamaan doon sa iba pang mga sinasabi niyong section na unconstitutional. Kaya sabi ng Korte Suprema, on the basis of the current petition.
Amid the uncertainty, oppositors say that presidential aspirants must be asked about their position on the controversial law, as its impact will be felt after the current administration.
Pwedeng gamitin rin ito ng iba pang mga rehimen, lalong-lalo na ngayon na nakaamba ang posibilidad that a dictator-radical regime will happen after May 2022.
Petitioners are waiting for the publication of the SC's full decision on the law, but it is expected that they will file a motion for reconsideration. For News 5, Marlene Alcaide, we are One News.
Filipino and Russian journalists Maria Ressa and Dmitry Muratov have formally received their Nobel Peace Prize for their work to safeguard freedom of expression. Let's watch this video from Bloomberg.
Facebook is the world's largest distributor of news, and yet studies have shown that lies laced with anger and hate spread faster and further than facts. These American companies controlling our global information ecosystem are biased against facts, biased against journalists. They are by design dividing us and radicalizing us. I've said this repeatedly over the last 5 years. Without facts, you can't have truth. Without truth, you can't have trust. Without trust, we have no shared reality, no democracy, and it becomes impossible to deal with the existential problems of our times: climate, coronavirus, now the battle for truth.
Когда правительства все время улучшают прошлое, журналисты пытаются улучшить будущее. Поэтому это премия всей настоящей журналистики. Это премия моим погибшим коллегам и друзьям из «Новой газеты» Игорю Домникову, Юрию Щекочихину, Анне Политковской, Насте Бабуровой, Стасу Маркелову, Наташе Истемировой. Это премия и живым моим коллегам, сообществу, которое продолжает выполнять профессиональный долг.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. President Duterte reiterated his claim that the Philippines has a quote of vibrant democracy during the U.S. Summit for Democracy. Duterte said freedom is fully enjoyed in the country and the regular transfer of power is guaranteed through honest elections. 3 nursing graduates from the pamantasan ng lungsod ng Maynila topped the 2021 nursing licensure examination. Now, the university also lauded all of its 13 examinees for achieving a 100% passing rate. And the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas has released the new design of the 1,000 peso bill approved by the National Historical Institute. The Monetary Board and the Office of the President have given the go signal for its circulation in the country starting next year. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on a Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.